Hi guys, we're back
We're
with
back,
another
we're
one.
back.
You doing like a little Jamaican thing? You supposed to be like, what you trying to do it sexy? Do it like this. All right, I ain't fooling with her. Okay, anyway, y'all. We're back, guys. We are the Sammy, Nicole, and Phoebe show here on YouTube. And we are a dynamic mother-daughter duo here. And we talk about all things love, life, relationships, and even pop culture from the millennial aspect and the Generation X aspect. All right. So tonight, what are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is Claudine.
Claudine, the movie that came out in 1974,
In
featuring
honor of
the iconic,
Diana
the legendary Diane Carroll, and James Earl Jones.
That movie right there, it's like, oh my goodness. I put a clip on it on my Instagram. You all go follow me at NBA_2016 on Instagram. Some TB over there too. But one of my favorite parts in the movie is when she's at work and he comes to pick up the trash, and she is bringing out the trash, and he's flirting with her, and he asked her, "You got a man?" And she's just like, "No, I don't." And he was like, "Well, if you got a man staying with you, what's gonna happen? The man gonna get you."
The welfare man.
The welfare, meaning the welfare man. And so she was all giddy, and she looked at him and go on back in the house, to her job. And then she thought about it, so she found some more trash to take out to the trash can, right? So she could see him again. And so he gets ready to drive off in the trash in the garbage truck. And she say, wait a minute. My address is 1944556. I was like, yes, Claudine, get your man, girl. He had asked her out on a date, and she was playing hard to get. Claudine went back in the house, and she thought about it. She was like, okay, let me get me a man, cuz. Let's go back, though. What about the scene when she's on the bus?
On her way to work.
On her way to work. Now, see, this is how...
With the rest of the single mothers.
With the rest of the single mothers.
We got to unpack that, too.
Claudine was a single mother, but she had been married twice. Mm-hmm. She had been married twice. Now, she had 6 babies.
She was married.
But she was married, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was on the bus. Let's go back. When she was on the bus with the other single mothers, and they was like, girl, you need to get you a man. You better go ahead and get you a man, Claudine. And see, we listened to our friends and our peers. They told her to get her a man, but they ain't tell her what type of man to go get.
Right.
Okay?
They just want a warm, hard body laying next to them.
And that's what some women go wrong. It's the type of man you go get. Some women just gotta have a man.
Amen. Don't matter what type of man. Don't matter. Just want a hard body with something dangling between their legs, laying next to them.
And that's pretty much what her girlfriends was like. You ain't what did she say? You ain't had no. You gotta get you some cereal or some milk.
Something they equated to sex. Basically, saying you need to get you a man so you can get you some sex.
Yeah. So they were all on the bus hyping her up to go get her a man. So when she got to work and she saw the garbage man and he was trying to talk to her, and she was like, she thought about it. Okay, let me go get this man. Mm-hmm. He did ask her out for a date. And that's the part that I like. He asked her out on a date. Okay, but he finds out, he goes to her house to pick her up, and he sees all these kids, and he's like, wait a minute, is this what I really want to do? He thinks about it, but he actually didn't take her out on a date. Okay, so this is the important part. When a man asks you to go out, make sure he takes you out on a date.
An actual date.
An actual date, and not to his apartment for a booty call.
No, let me cook you dinner. Take me out on a date. No meeting for Starbucks.
Right.
None of that.
Right, and this I mean, this movie was made, what you say, 1976?
74.
74. So we
Over 40
still,
years ago.
over 40 years ago, it's still a lot of relatable moments in this movie.
Yeah.
As far as dating, as far as being a single mother, as far as having a man in your house over your children as a single mother. I mean, the kids was not receptive to him coming in dating their mother. I mean, it was issues there. You know, it was issues with the welfare. You know, she couldn't have a man in her house, you know, being on public assistance. I mean, all these things that go on now. You know, like, if you have, you know, Section 8 now, you're not married, a man can't stay there. You know, just all kind of different things that we can relate to in Claudine that we can, from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, but it's one of my favorite movies because I just like the part, you know, what she thought about it. She was like, hey, wait a minute. You know, as a single mom, she's working all the time. And she wanted to date, but she just didn't have the time to date. Even when they went to his house, she got tired
Fell asleep
and fell asleep in the bathtub. So she really didn't get to enjoy the first date. And then she had to go back home
to 6 children.
To 6 children to take care of them. So it's just like, you know, that still happens now. Okay, so one thing that I noticed in the movie, where were the fathers?
Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
And I feel like a lot of times we are so quick to blame single mothers. And they play a role in their situation too, but so do the fathers.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about that more because that's horrible. It's deplorable and it's unacceptable.
Even back then in 1974 in this movie, she was married to 2 men.
And they completely just neglected their responsibilities to their offspring. And she was married.
And
so
she was married.
That's another thing to think about too. Is, you know, sometimes when you get married, that's not always a guarantee, and sometimes we do automatically prejudge single mothers and think that they were never married. But a lot of times, you know, sometimes they were married.
They were
and their
married.
husband just abandoned them and their child. You know, once they got divorced.
He actually thought she wasn't married. She was like, I was married twice.
Right.
He thought she had all those kids and never married. And she was like, I was married twice. But then again,
remember when she asked him about his kids, and he had multiple
and he
kids
was behind
across the country,
and behind on child support.
Yeah, and he
same
neglected
thing,
his
relatable
kids.
to now.
Yep, he ran away instead of dealing with his issues and confronting them. He ran away from his kids and wasn't in his kids' life.
Right.
It was dealing with child support,
and so it was just a lot of things, a lot of parts in this movie that is so in now, so with the here and now.
But the past is still in the present, showing up in the present,
showing up in
and
the
it's
present.
a generational thing, and it's continuing on and
on and on and on. Yep, I was like, wow, that's happening now. Wow, who would have thought 40 years later?
Over 40 years later.
Over 40 years later. This movie was made 40 years ago, but we're still, as a people, as a society, we're still dealing with the same problems.
Yeah. So that shows we haven't healed, we haven't grown, we haven't addressed those issues. Because it's, I mean, I think they say what? Over 70% of children are born to single mothers.
So it's like, you know, it's unbelievable that we're still dealing with the same issues after 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a lot of different with the kids, the young males, even with her older son.
The older son, what was his? Oh, I can't remember.
His name.
But he was the one that was in Cooley High, for y'all who know. And we'll link the movie Claudine down in the description box, so y'all can see it, so y'all can get more context behind our review and how it relates to the present day. But she had like an older son. He was like very like, he was coming up during the time of Black Panther Party.
Right.
So he was very like
Militant.
militant, very pro-black, and he was very critical of his mom for being a single mother and having 6 children. Very angry with her, and very angry
much
with her
so.
about growing up in the hood and everything, and poverty, and being on welfare. But I'm like, why he so mad at her? Okay, he mad at her, but what about his daddy? He ain't cursing his daddy. Why is all his anger being directed at her? I mean, I guess
Right.
she's the only one there, but
Right.
still, he need to be looking for his own dad, mad at him. It's not just all her. She's doing the best that she can. And so, it was just really interesting to, see that relationship between the black mother and black son, because even though in the black, community, we revere our mothers, a lot of men, have a lot of animosity and a lot of anger and hatred towards their mothers, quiet as it's kept. And that spills over a lot of times into their romantic relationships with women. So that was a really interesting piece, an aspect of the movie that I caught on to.
Yeah.
That mother-son relationship.
Right.
And how she kind of looked at him to kind of take on that role as the father, because he was the oldest. He was 18.
Right.
And she was 36, so she had him when she was 18.
Right.
And he just had a lot of resentment towards her.
And then 2 more points. With the younger children, like the younger son, I think they actually needed a male figure in their life, because one was having trouble in school, but actually he was a very intelligent little boy. Mm-hmm.
And
once he made the connection with James Earl Jones, he started to do better in his schoolwork.
Mm-hmm. You just needed that male, that
right,
role model.
That role model.
Authoritative.
Which happens now, in this present time. And then the daughter gets pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Her oldest daughter gets pregnant, and the cycle continues. Statistics show, if children that are born to teen mothers are more likely to become teen mothers themselves, teen parents themselves, excuse me.
Right.
And studies have shown that to be true. You're more likely, if your mother was a teen mother, you're more likely to be a teen mother or teen parent or teen father yourself.
Yeah. So it was just, the movie was just so relatable, like I keep saying. I mean, you guys go watch it. You can relate to it in the present time. Nothing has changed from 40 years ago to now. And
right. Now, I don't like that Claudine didn't stay on him about taking her to a date. Like, and I feel like she was staying the night over his house too soon. She was having sex
the
with
first
him.
time.
Yeah, she slept with him way too soon. Another thing is he wasn't a provider. What did he do in the movie? The heat in the kitchen got too hot, and he ran when they went down to that welfare.
As we say now, ghost. He ghosted her.
He ghosted her.
So they was getting ghosts back 40 years ago too, y'all.
Yeah, and even before then. Okay, ghosting ain't nothing new. They was getting finessed too. But he ghosted her, after they went down to the welfare office and they talked about what it would take for him to move into the house, legally. Mm-hmm. And once he realized how much the government was going to be involved in his business and finances, he got the hell on. He wasn't trying to, be that man in her life or her children's life.
When stuff got bad, he ran. He didn't stick it out. You see what I'm saying?
And that's a common theme that we see with, men within the black community. Things getting a little too hot in the kitchen, and men running away from their responsibilities.
Right.
And women, black women, being stuck, left to carry the weight of it all, the brunt of the work. Yeah. Being the mule of the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys go watch Claudine. Go out there.
It was really good.
It was really good.
What are some other things we liked?
I think that was the first time I introduced Samantha to it. That was
I've
the first
seen
time.
it. I've seen it.
Really?
Absolutely. I've seen it. I've seen it. It's probably about my 4th time seeing it.
Okay.
I have.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're excused.
But I like to expose her to different things like that.
It's definitely a classic. It's definitely a classic.
I love that. Was probably my 100th
lot of symbolism
times in it.
Lot of symbolism.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought it was really deep, going back to her oldest son, the 18-year-old, when he was angry with her for not aborting him.
He did.
And that aspect, that kind of touches on the piece as how within the black community, you have people who say, you know, well, a baby is a blessing, you know, which it is. So even if they're not, financially stable though, or ready or in the position to have a child, they will still bring a child into a toxic situation anyway because they don't believe in abortion, or maybe they subscribe to Christianity, but they're fornicating. So do you really subscribe to it? But that's a whole nother topic. And so that was another interesting piece. And also,
yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that because I had a young lady tell me she's getting her baby Christian, and she wanted to get the baby Christian at a christening at a church. They told her she couldn't because her and the father wasn't married. So we're gonna talk about it. That's a whole nother topic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they said you done brought this baby into fornication, then you want to give it back to the Lord, and the Lord said back. No. And Jesus said no.
We're gonna talk about that. That's a whole nother topic. But you guys go out there and watch Claudine.
Yeah, again, I'm going to try to go ahead and link the movie down in the comment section.
But it's on
video.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Let us know what you think down in the comment section.
And the soundtrack is
awesome
yes. With Gladys
Curtis
Knight.
Mayfield, he did the score, and Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Yeah, the soundtrack
did the soundtrack.
It's all awesome.
Yeah, Curtis Mayfield, God rest his soul. He's a genius. Yeah. Awesome. And, you know, God rest Diane Carroll's soul as well. May she rest in peace, and may she be walking with the ancestors. Absolutely. All right, y'all. So that concludes our review of Claudine. Go ahead and check it out. Let us know what y'all think down in the comment section.
I think every single woman, or if you're dating, you need to go watch Claudine. I think it just it opens up your eyes. You know, you can. Wow, okay, so I need to do something different. If they were doing this 40 years ago, I need to change this and do something different.
Yeah, because history is repeating itself. You know, they say the game don't change, just the players. Okay, on that note, y'all, we are the Sammy, Nicole, and Fifi Show. I'm Sammy Nicole. This is Fifi. And until next time, bye.